So when I look at the NASDAQ weekly candle, it made new all-time highs, took out this high by 12, I think. Yeah, 702. Took this high out by 12. So it took out last week's high, last week's low. Um, you could call that textbook Edwards and McGee a key reversal. So weekly it looks terrible, you know. Maybe I'm finally going to get that break to 6,900 or not. From here, we'll see. If the dollar turns, maybe that takes some pressure off it. Maybe it doesn't matter. They're all, kind of focused more on rates now than anything. And, you have to give it to the, even though there's record shorts in the bonds, they're clock cleaned. Because, I guess the yen should have been the tip off, but yields are exploding, right? I mean, and the weekly looks like it's confirming. The daily is at new highs. It's confirming. The 4-hour looks like maybe we're getting a 2. There are a few things that show 2s on the shorter term. The bonds, see the 1 hour. Yeah, you're seeing it here. And coincidentally, the stock indexes. So bonds have 2 drives to a top, and stock indexes
Oh, the Russell
has 2 drives to a bottom. Okay, so maybe there's another wave. But anyway, I look at this, even the S&Ps, would have been more bearish for it to close under 28.78. It held it when it recovered Friday, but that's the previous high early in the year. So getting back underneath it would be pretty ugly. But this was an outside week down. There's nothing bullish here. I don't see anything bullish here. I don't see anything bullish here. I don't know how to tell anyone to, chase it. Maybe look to sell strength. We have this little, reversal near the end of the day. But, I like arithmetic, subtractions and additions to ranges. Oh, and all the off numbers, we got 2-week reversals that closed here, under here. So, I mean, there's no way to make this into like, wow, that's a week I just want to get long next week. To me. All right, so the off numbers worked, closed under the off number. The off number was 75.22. Next week, it's all the way up at 635. That would surprise me if it got back to 635. But what I wanted to say was if you just take the high, 77, and the low, 375, is a range, and say, for example, we do some work and we break down under 3.25, and you just take 375 from 3.25 gives you, what a coincidence, 6920. Yeah, 6920, which is also an area I talked about, fourth wave, lesser degree. So, I still think there's a shot for 6920. Do I think this is a big move to 57.5? I don't know. But I still think we could go here. The S&Ps, it wouldn't surprise me to see, 27, 2800, 2740. Are we going to break this and crash? I don't know. We could just pull back and blow again in all of these. I don't know if it's going to be the top. One thing that makes me think it's not the top, look at the S&P. Look at the Dow. What do you see? How many drives? Look at the RSI. Pretty clear.
2,
2, right? So why can't we have a break and then have a third?
Well, how about the Russell? The Russell looks like it's leading the way.
Yeah, it did lead the way, and this is something that that Eagles could have taken advantage of. But you know what? The Russell, I think, has had some pretty important support, but the Nasdaq just started. So, what was our call for a high in the Russell?
I don't remember.
72.80. It's actually a count that Volgy had, and the high was 330. So I mean, I think Seymour wrote this. Okay, while the Nasdaq was still rallying, and then we talked about the breakout, and this was another lesson. Okay, major breakout. It's exactly what I said could happen. Major breakout. It turns into a failure, and we knew we had a failure this day. And if you did it this day, you weren't late, were you?
No.
And the lesson I've taught is when a market breaks out and gives you 3 weeks to get long, gives you 3 weeks to think about it, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retests of the breakout to get long, you have to be jaded and not trusted and be looking for the failure. So, could have done it up here with the count, and could have done it in here knowing that this breakout wasn't going to hold, and here we are. So yeah, it still looks pretty negative. I saw a count, Paul, that takes it down to 800 before it's over down here. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Those are months. So it actually reversed in September. Okay, and now we're in October. So, 135, maybe. But right now we're at some support. I'd sell rallies, though. I think the top's in. But maybe, 66, extreme case 68. Looks ugly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to lead it. You're right. It started first. NASDAQ was just as weak as Russell last week. And, the champions are folding.